Yo, what's up YouTube? Calvish here. I wanted to make a short video since I've been getting a lot of questions in my stream about the Apex talents, and I wanted to explain a PvE thing you can do with it, and some PvP tricks you can do that kind of make this talent gross. I don't think the PvE trick is intended. I'm pretty sure it's an exploit, and I don't really think I would even play this talent if it didn't exist. But I'm not really sure how Blizzard will fix it or what they'll do, so I'm just gonna try my best to explain it. Basically, what you want to do is you're playing around your shadow techniques at all times, and if you ever have more than 5 shadow techniques, that means if you have more than 5 shadow techniques and full combo points, and you don't have the Apex art last talent, if you don't have the buff up, then what you want to do is you want to do another builder so that you do get the buff up. And basically what this means and how this works for PvP and why it's important is the rank 1 talent. So if you read the rank 1 talent, it says basically whenever you expend shadow techniques, it has a chance to summon a shadow clone that does extra damage as shadow of the ability. So obviously, this works really well with the rank 3 talent because you can duplicate a shadow clone on your eviscerate or your secret tech, right? But basically, in PvP, there's a lot of ways to abuse this. And before we even talk about the exploit, I guess, just to explain some very simple things. Basically, if you have more than 5 shadow techniques going into a go, you can actually get pre-med by either vanishing or dancing, and your next builder will give it every single time. So you'll always have the buff if you go into the go with more than 5 shadow techniques, and you'll get a double finisher. This is also important because you can get a ton of burst damage in the middle of a go by vanishing, if you wanted to. So what you can do is, you can see I get back to 5, right? And you can obviously vanish in your dance, right? So if you have dance up and you're at 5 shadow techniques but 0 combo points, you can vanish to get a pre-med during your dance, and then you can shadow strike or cheap shot and you get the extra finisher for free. So that's where some of the PvP part of it comes in. From what I know, I don't think it's standard to like vanish during your go in PvE to proc it, but maybe it is. But to get into the exploit or whatever clearly unintended mechanic this is, basically you can spam proc this over and over by using a double builder. So I'm going to show it right here. I proc 1, I don't have the buff, I have more than 5, so I'm going to shadow strike here, I get another, I have more than 5 shadow techniques, so I'm going to press a builder, even though I'm full combo points, to get another. And then you can see over and over, as long as I'm at more than 5, it'll spam feed me these ancient art procs, right? So even though I'm at full combo points, I'm choosing to not spend my combo points, and I'm choosing to use a builder to reactivate the buff over and over. Another reason this is really important in PvP is because it makes your globals a lot nicer, since if you use it kind of conventionally, you get your globals and cheap shots feel really strange. But if you do it this way, then they line up correctly, I should say, and it doesn't mess anything up in your rotation because you're matching the numbers of builders and builders and spenders, right? So to show that, I'm gonna do a go with I have 9 shadow techniques right now. I'm going to do a go with 9, and I'm going to use the PvE exploit, whatever it is, and you guys are going to be able to see how many times I'm proccing these extra finishers. So it all lines up perfectly. I can even keep going if I wanted to, dance again, and I'm just proccing tons of these finishers that line up perfectly into my cheap shot stun go. So I think that's it for the explanation, but I'm going to show a couple clips just to explain it, because to me it sounds a bit complicated. So let me grab those. So this is the first clip right here. I'm gonna play it in slow-mo, just this one. So ignore the stuns or whatever rotation I'm doing. Just look at what's happening. So I got full builders here, or I got full combo points from my pre-med, right? And I see I have 6 shadow techniques. So instead of spending my combo points here, I'm actually using another builder to proc my ancient arts and get my shadow damage clone on my next finisher. And then here, I shadow dance, right? Eviscerate spends the buff, and then I shadow dance, which gives me pre-med, and then like I said, I have 5 or more of the shadow technique, so my next builder will proc it again, and now I have another double finisher. And then here, you can see I do the vanish trick here. I have more than 5 shadow techniques, and I have 0 combo points, but I can vanish cheap shot to get a full row of combo points and proc the buff again for another finisher. And I think that's it for this clip. But obviously it's a very strong tool that you can use. So the second clip is kind of crazy. So right here, I proc it, and then I use it, and then you can see me proc it again here. I'm lost. I need to rewatch this. So I proc it before doing the go, because I have more than 5 shadow techniques, right? Proc it before the go. And then I cheap shot, eviscerate, shadow strike, and I proc it again, and I can just chain proc this over and over. And I proc it again. And then I proc it again. And then I proc it again, and then you'll see I'll use a double builder here after my finisher. I'll use a double builder to get another, and then this guy literally just dies. This is such a fast death. This is through the Mistweaver healing too. I didn't even CC him. Okay. Then we have 2 more. This one is very simple. I have a ton of shadow techniques stacked up before the go, right? And then I actually proc it before the go, but it doesn't end up mattering because I have pre-med, so my next cheap shot will apply it anyways, because again, I have more than 5 shadow techniques, right? So I proc it here, and then I eviscerate, and you'll see this is the rotation part I was talking about here. Look how smooth this rotation is. I get a proc on my first eviscerate, and then I shadow strike, and I can eviscerate again. So this is a back-to-back, right? And I think that's all for this one. And then here's the last clip. This clip is pretty wild. I do a go on the ret here, and I get bubble, right? But I get bubble, and I'm at full combo points after the bubble, right? And normally what I would do here is I would dance, step, eviscerate the druid, and then cheap shot and go, right? Because normally you want to spend your combo points before doing things. But in this situation, what happens is I dance, shadow strike the druid, and I proc the ancient arts, and then I can eviscerate and kind of just completely one-shot him. He kind of just gets one-shot. But yeah, I hope that makes sense. I just wanted to make a quick video explaining it, since I feel this is kind of a confusing topic to answer with hyped questions. But yeah, tune into the stream if you have more questions. Peace out.